ultimately the boss CEO comes down to that final decision maker. But at the end of the day, I feel like your voice is heard. You put yourself out there. You're thinking a little bit differently. This is just going to improve the quality of everyone across the board and keeps people sharp, pushing people outside their comfort zones, looking at things from a different perspective.
Hey everyone, Chris G here, and it's Hard Hat the CEO time, where we're going to talk about all kinds of things on becoming a CEO and get to that point. But that being said, you got to start somewhere, and we're going to talk with Chris Troca today, all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chris specializes in some marketing and branding, and he's also a podcast host. But everybody, please welcome Chris Troca. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Chris. Great name. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We'll talk about it a little bit. That's a good name. There's no problem with that.
That's
Chris,
right.
can you give us a little background on you, and then we'll get into our podcast?
Of course, knowing the name of the show, Hard Hat to CEO, I've worked a lot of restaurant jobs, auto detailing, retail, customer service, all the different jobs. Really hated the 9-to-5 lifestyle. I started DJing for events that eventually turned into DJing for weddings. I started to grow a team, and suddenly I was CEO of my own company, which was really cool. I went back to school for marketing and then got my degree and started helping other business owners and small businesses with their marketing and automation needs as well. So it's been quite a journey. I can't go back to that 9-to-5 lifestyle. How about yourself?
Well, same thing. I've done a lot of different things. I've been in the corporate world for 19 years, and then got out on my own and doing. I've started several businesses and invested and so forth, and got the real estate, and now I'm doing some business coaching, also podcasting. And podcasting is a lot of fun. You're a podcaster, is that right?
That's right. It is a lot of fun. It's a perfect way to meet and network with people and have some inspiring guests on the show. They can share a lot of wisdom, tips, and tricks with us. So that's something that our audience loves to hear. And me personally, as a host, I get tons of value from that. And I like to pay it forward to my guests as well, who aren't quite as, at that point yet in their careers.
Now, I'm intrigued by your podcast name, Brainwork and Framework.
That's right.
That
That's
right?
right.
Tell us what's it primarily cover? What's your, I guess, listenership as
Yes.
who's listening to you?
Yeah, so our audiences can be small business owners, marketers, entrepreneurs. Our conversations are all about business, sales, and marketing. So anything that falls in that realm. Sometimes it's the SEO, sometimes it's paid ads, sometimes it's organic marketing, sometimes it's podcasting, things like this. So we highlight a lot of entrepreneurs. We wanted to get inside their mind because oftentimes we only see the successes that many entrepreneurs have and not the failures that kind of led them and gave them experience to actually achieve their end goal on that 10th try finally. So it's nice to collaborate with other people, highlight their journey, their story. And again, just that share of knowledge and information has been invaluable. I love it.
Sure. My talking about marketing a little bit and a little bit of SEO. And SEO, for my listeners, don't know that SEO stands for search engine optimization. Is that, and for those who have websites, that's very important. I want to ask you, Chris, is that as important today as it was before SEO? And I don't mean that it's different. I think
Right,
I have.
absolutely. SEO has definitely evolved over the years. Each 3 to 6 months, Google may change the algorithm. There may be different importance. However, a lot of the foundational principles behind search engine optimization are the same. The end goal, the result, is trying to get your website to rank higher. So that way you're showing up for common search questions that people are asking. Plumber near me, contractor near me, contractor near this city. You want to show up higher in those search results. So that way you can get that organic traffic. People who are trying to solve their problems, get their bathrooms remodeled. You want those showing up. So that way your website, your Google profile optimizes. That way you're getting organic traffic and organic customers. So all those things that have changed over the years, it's still relevant.
It is relevant. I actually had a company. We started and then we switched over to some of those, in my opinion, more profitable areas of digital side of work. But
Mhm.
we did SEO. It pissed me off every time Google changed something, and it just aggravated me to death. And I guess I know why they're doing it, but boy, it's just. And then you got the guys who say they know SEO and don't do a very good job of it. They just want the money, and there's hardly, I mean, you can show people what you did, but then you've got a lot of competition. That can be a drain. So while I do agree, there's a lot of things you can do to optimize your website for SEO. Has marketing take more of a precedent? Because if you look at something like Contractors Near Me, the first thing you want to see, even before the Google pack, and that's for those who don't know, that's the three ones that pop up on your screen when you do a search for a business. All these ads at the top. You got to go through all the ads first, and then you go to the Google pack, and then you go to the organic stuff. And it's just, it's hard for a business, contracting or anything else for that matter, to decide where you spend your money and how you do that. So when you talk to people about marketing and branding, and we'll talk about branding in a little bit, when you talk to your business owners about marketing, what do you suggest?
Really just depends on their business, whether they're focused on B2B or B2C. Do they have a physical location? Typically, SEO is great for B2C businesses, retail locations where you can show up on that 3-pack map. That can be really important. And again, Google has not been innocent over the years in pushing down organic search results, both from first their own Google My Business, which turned into Google Business Profile. That's the 3-pack that now takes up 30% of the top page. It's no surprise they came in with an AI overview of here's what we think you might want to hear that we've compiled from your search results. Thanks again for compiling all that data for us and doing all the schema markup. Now that we have this data, let's push you down. So it's very unfortunate, but we do need to remember that most people, about 80%, scroll past ads. So they have that filter on their lens. They're scrolling right past that AI overview to the map pack, or straight to the organic search results. So it's something to keep in mind. The overall end result that you want to get is you want to do a little bit of everything. Do some testing, see what's working, but we know from past experience based on industry, what's going to work the best. So that's what we focus our efforts on. And we just try to set realistic expectations with our clients. We tell them what to expect when it comes to, moving one keyword from this position to this, how long that could take, how long will you see those results for? And all of our clients, because we manage those expectations, they're happier in the end. And we do some great work as opposed to, unfortunately, some other people out there who just want the money.
In all businesses, we're talking in general, but where contractors like what we do and other businesses, the branding, I know it's important, and that's basically talking about either name recognition or I guess logo recognition. Is that one of the first things you do?
Well, it's definitely the first impression, right?
Right.
The copy that you see, the visual graphics that you see, what you think and feel about the brand will kind of determine your perception. Do I want to work with this company? Sometimes your branding and your logos can either give a less quality, smaller price sort of perception. You can also have a brand where you look very high end and maybe price yourself out of the competition. That may not be true if you go to the pricing page, but that branding makes you think and feel something about that brand. Both for recognition, seeing the yard signs out on the lawn, hey, J&J Contractors were here. Hey, that's great. I recognize, I see their vans all the time. When you have a positive recollection towards a brand, you feel more at home, you feel more comfortable, so you're more likely to move towards that brand. So it's something you have to be considerate of when you're building your brand. What do you want people to think and feel about this? And a big part of our work is once you have that billboard up, the commercials out, people are coming into your site, we want to remove their friction from the buyer's journey. So make it as easy as possible for them to take the next steps, whether that's filling out a form, emailing you, calling you. Allow them some options to connect with you in the way that they prefer. We've shown that there's increases in conversion rates by 20%, even by simply adding a chat widget to your website. So the easier you can solve someone's problem, the better you are. So branding first, SEO, get them in the door, and then you start really building that nurturing sequence and building relationships with your customers. I think that's what the branding really means in the end days.
The branding tie into the social media side too, doesn't it? A little bit.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
From your presence at trade shows, social media, whether you're getting listed on contractor lead sites, maybe like an Angie's List or Thumbtack. I'm sure a lot of people have used similar places. Would you feel comfortable, let's say, I think when you're making a decision with a brand, you kind of pull up their social sites. Where are they? I might check out their LinkedIn, Instagram, pull up the website. If there's something off, I even question, is this even the brand? Okay, it says the same name, but sometimes the pictures aren't the same. The graphics are off. It doesn't even match the feel of the brand. If you can have cohesive branding across all of your channels, that's just going to connect with your audience more and make them feel more comfortable.
I have a coach that helps me with my branding on the social side, and he wants the same picture, obviously the logos. But now, branding of Chris Gilman or Chris, or Chris Croker, or just the next. How much social media is personal now that your branding has to tie into your personal side of the business owners? Is that, people are looking for that type of stuff, I assume, when they try to put a name with a face type deal.
That's right, absolutely. And you have two decisions to make when you're trying to put yourself out there on the internet, especially like a personal brand. Are you going to keep your actual full name on there? That's definitely going to connect more with your personal and business side altogether. Some people will go with a fake last name, like Chris Marketing or something similar. So that way they know you by a stage name and know less about your personal. But I think it's more about what personal details. How can you humanize yourself as a person and a marketer when you're trying to do business? I think that's the most important thing. So definitely want to share maybe a family photo, you doing something fun, something that connects with your audience that says, okay, this is someone I like, this is someone I know, and someone I trust. So whatever communicates that message to them can be great for adding those personal touches. But I think even you mentioned like, hey, it's good to use the same picture, same logo, make sure you have consistency across that channel. Otherwise, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed you can look wildly different in one photo versus another just based on the angle or where the picture was taken. And you don't want people getting confused. They're like, oh, wow, this is a different handsome Chris guy that, stumbled upon the page here. It's like, that's not Gilman.
That's what exactly. Yeah, that's not a handsome Gilman.
That's not the handsome Gilman I expect.
No, but that's right. I mean, he said same picture everywhere. It's okay. And same with the logo. Obviously, logo makes sense. But with social media today, that's logo and picture and all that stuff is all kind of intertwined together now, in my opinion, about how it all works.
Because I think our eyes are looking for that that similarity when we're trying to find it. What logo am I looking for? What color should I be expecting? Very important.
I thought this was an interesting little nugget. You're talking about businesses out there, and if you have your construction business and you have your social media and so forth, it's almost like free advertising. Because and here's where I'm going with this. Most of this was how he explained it to me. It's like, well, that makes sense. We have more friends usually than we have people on the business page. So you put your business page stuff on your business page, but you also put it on your personal social media, because that's where you have more people. And it's just like free advertising, because people know you, and they might not even know you own a business, or they're more likely to remember you have a business since you're posting on your personal page as well. I thought, and they're all tied together anyway, because that's how Facebook works, and Instagram, and I don't know, you know more about social media than I do. I let my VAs and my other guys take care of all that good stuff. But
no, that's really good. Same as SEO, social media is changing the channels where they're on, what your capabilities are, how far your reach can go. Very important, but it's great to get at a point where you can now delegate and trust the team to say, hey, I'm going to let you do the studying on this particular subject. Now you have your experts in your field, which is really good. But I think social media is important as a whole. It is, again, free marketing. It's kind of like you have your close friends and family. Those are the ones who are willing to like and subscribe to your channels, right? They'll always get your info in the feed. They'll be the ones also liking and hearting your comments and everything else. So you have your close friends, then your acquaintances, which that is a broader reach. They may not support each time, but again, they think of you. I just had one of my past coworkers. This was 20 years ago. I had a past coworker who was getting married, and she saw that I was a wedding DJ, and she's, oh, I saw your posts, and I'd love to have you. And wow, that's the best pre-warmed qualified lead you could ever get, someone who already knows you and referred. So social media is great for that, your personal network. But remember that expands beyond just the single person. If one person likes or comments, reacts, or engages with that post could get shared with that group of friends as well. So you think about this spider web, this exponential reach that you could have. If people are enjoying your content, if they're getting educated or entertained, and you can toss a logo at the end, that is huge advertising for you. What I'm seeing big in the contractor space is video work, where they're doing before and after, or motion still, or they're doing like a time lapse of the work that's done. So it's great because people love to watch construction workers work, to see the building of something go from something not that good into something even better. And this can be a great hack for a lot of contractors. Get into video, record your work, do some before and after. It doesn't have to be a big production. We have phones and GoPros that are $100 now that can do similar what thousands of, those big cameras could have done. But social media is great. I love video content. Contractors can really benefit from it. People love the before and after photos of all those renovations. So make that into your content schedule, and you'll never run out of content for social media again.
My construction company, we build houses and barndominiums, if you know what that is. But
Yes, I do.
barns and barndominiums is what we do. And they love the pictures of progression. It's here we're at, and this is what we did this week, and here's what's happened, and it's just they see it coming and they kind of anticipate, oh, I want to see where it's at now. And those type of things are just interesting to people that they follow through and look, and some will comment, or I love it when they put somebody else's name, because that tells me that they're, hey, you want to pay attention to this. And like, okay.
They start tagging their friends in the comments.
That's
Like,
right.
oh wow. That's when you have a real hit. That's something that is viral worthy. And that's just getting way more eyeballs on your business than you could ever imagine from posting up an ad or running a newspaper,
Oh, sure.
anything.
Now they just follow along, and people that, then all of a sudden you got more followers than you got friends, which is good
Yes.
too, if that works. I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, because I think this is important to talk about no matter what business you're in. You mentioned having a team. Teams are good. Allows
That's
you to free up your time, focus on what you need to focus on, right?
That's right. Absolutely. The team is so important to your success. As business owners, we often start off as solopreneurs, or we're wearing each and every hat. We're the marketer, the sales, fulfillment, and the bookkeeping team. And Lord knows we're only probably good at the one thing
right in the middle of it,
we're actually signed up for business for. So we don't sign up for a lot of that stuff, but we have to learn it. We get through it. Once we get to a point where we can now afford and support a team, that's going to be really huge. You're going to want to take a look at what your current needs are, what their skill set is. Are you looking to train, or do you want to pay more for having someone who's already skilled? What are the pros and cons to that? For most people, growing a team is going to be great. And a lot of people see the need because they're so busy and they're like, this is my next step. We always tell people to take a moment, take pause, take a step back before you pay a human to do a lot of these tasks that you're doing. There's software and tools and automation out there that can take a lot of that admin busy work off your plate. You can still hire someone, but what you do is now you create a templated system for your business that what to expect. So everything from your CRM, the email, follow-up, the fulfillment, that should all have a standard operating practice to it. From there, it's easier to train an employee to come in. And why would you pay an admin person to send off emails to your customer list when there's systems and tools available for you?
Oh, yeah.
But that team piece is so important.
We evolved. I mentioned earlier, we evolved from doing SEO type stuff, and we basically we own Prospect HQ, which is a CRM automation type system that's built off the Go High Level base. And what we found was that a lot of people, contractors in general, specifically, because I had a lot of contractors in asphalt and concrete, and they didn't want to learn the system. I thought it was a great idea, but so we also started Top Choice virtual systems, Top Choice VA.
Nice.
So and let them run the system for them, and obviously they're less expensive cost than here in the States. But it's amazing what technology can do, which is a whole lot less expensive than a person. But at some point, even I'm guilty of this. I have 4 VAs, and I told them that I need a secretary. I know y'all can do a lot of stuff, but you can't do it all. I got to have somebody here. And at some point, everybody's going to decide an online or a person with you, whether it be, I like talking, you remember, well, you look a little young. I don't know. You ever watch MASH?
Yeah, I remember MASH. Yes.
Okay. And then they had, I want my own radar.
Yeah.
A guy coming, your sign here. It's like, okay. No, I don't want to do it that simple. But those type of things are people who, you can trust and know things are going to happen the way they need to happen. And they're just some things that a virtual assistant can't do, or software and so forth. The best part about software is once it's set up, it's done. You're right about that.
Yes.
So
absolutely. And I love that you focused on this big roadblock and objection you had from the contractors, and found an easy solution, said, hey, you don't need to run the system. Here's my new repackaged offer, which is perfect.
Yeah, the the virtual assistants have been a game changer for us, and I'm gonna be full credit to my team. Virtual assistants are the one to start the business. They said we think we can do this, so we organized it, and actually they even did the sales for it. I don't even do the sales for it. I just support it, do the paperwork and so forth, and they kind of run it. We teach them stuff, or we consult, daily. Actually,
Mhm.
what should we do here? And once we set it up, it's like clockwork. So now it's a wonderful, it's a great thing. And then you help people out who need help. Um, the Philippines, a lot of their business. Let me get on sidetrack here, but real quick, the Philippines are their business. A part of the things they teach, I'm sorry, they teach their people is to work for Americans as a virtual assistant. That's a big industry over there.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
call centers. I mean, they speak very good English. Actually, she'll probably listen to this, but Amy, Amy's one of mine who's trained by American Express to lose her accent. If you talk to Amy today, you would not know you wouldn't know where she's from. You just, yeah, it's amazing to me.
That is
That's,
incredible.
yeah,
Very talented, hardworking. It's
yeah,
great. Love that as an option. I started with my VA about a year ago. Same from the Philippines. This was
yeah,
a personal recommendation. Someone said, "I just don't have the type of work that she wants or needs right now, and can't support her.
sure.
Anyone else?" I said, "Absolutely." Uh, Actually, we ended up working together so long. She said, "I'm the longest she's ever worked for a single client." So I'd like to think that I'm an okay boss, and I keep things at least enjoyable enough where she is happy to come to work today. But I've been giving her tasks that are way outside of her tasks and duties that were originally agreed upon, and just said, "This is the work I have available. I really need help." I give her a video and a standard project, and here's your step
Yep,
by step, and she executes. And a lot of the times, she can do things even better than the way that I could have thought I would do it myself. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't you have some fun, creative license with this? Because it's something that one is fulfilling to her, and it can take us out of the box from something unexpected. But I can't wait till that next point where it's now the second, third, fourth VA where things are really churning along and things are moving. But for the DJ business, we got assistance just for fulfillment. We got other DJs. So I was still handling the scheduling and management. So that was great. But once the marketing came on board and handled clients, podcasts too, yes, we're going to need some help with that.
heard that. So the I'm gonna bring it back home to the team part.
Mhm.
Whether it be a team that's a VA or a team that's here with you in can be different states, could be in the US, could be right in your same office. What I find very valuable is that they perceive things different than I do. And I encourage them not to necessarily argue with me, but to prove their point to me, because I'll change my mind if you, but I also want you to open up to my ideas. We have good banter back and forth about, okay. And because I took a little personality test. I'm type A, but my, a type D, the opposite of me would be, uh, she sees, they see, they see things differently. And I need to be able to have that ability to be able to see that. And, I'm not always right, even though I think I am. So it's good to have more than one person on your team. More two brains are better than one type thing. So
Absolutely. And I love that you are open to that dialogue and discussion. That was my favorite part when I was working for corporate, were the leaders and directors who would give me a voice at the table. They made sure everyone was included, put your thoughts out, again, argue for your ideas. And, ultimately the boss CEO comes down to that final decision maker. But at the end of the day, I feel like your voice is heard. You put yourself out there, you're thinking a little bit differently. This is just going to improve the quality of everyone across the board and keeps people sharp, pushing people outside their comfort zones, looking at things from a different perspective. That can be difficult for us, but it gives us a much wider view of the picture, so we can help execute it better.
sure. When I was in the corporate world, what I learned was I'd go around and I'd see what other companies were doing that were basically our competitors. I get the vendors to get us in the door, not to espionage or anything. I just wanted to see what they were doing and
Mhm.
then get some ideas to come back and improve our systems. And I'm going somewhere with this. So when I noticed you talk about above and beyond customer service. And we'll get some ideas from you, but what I think that's what the podcast does for me today, for you, for other people today, to be able to hear what not necessarily competitors, people in their market are doing in their industry. What do you do at your company that makes you different or improves your efficiencies? And then people listening can take those ideas and incorporate them in their business and grow. I read a book by Southwest Airlines, and I took a lot of ideas from them and then kind of put it, I'm not an airline person, but I took those ideas, not all of them, but you incorporate those into your business. And I think that's a great thing to do. Didn't have podcasts when I was, didn't have internet when I was growing up. But anyway,
that made research a lot harder.
That's right. So my question is, in your market and what you do, talk about customer service, do you do anything special that kind of sets yourself apart or makes it efficient for you to do that?
Absolutely. So first of all, yes, podcasting is a great way to get your competitors and similar like-minded people or your industry to get some information from them that they normally wouldn't share with many others, but put them on a podcast and suddenly we kind of open up and we're just excited to talk about it, right? So a lot of my clients love our efficiency and communication. That's really important. I hear from both, honestly, from the wedding DJ business and from my marketing side. I'm hearing both from other vendors that unfortunately they're not getting back to them, or it takes too long, or website update takes 2 to 3 weeks. And unfortunately, that's just not okay with me. That's not acceptable. How I built my wedding DJ business was very focused towards customer service, speed to lead, be there to be what you need and help them. That's the one that's going to win the sale. So that's something that my clients definitely appreciate. That communication piece, I think, helps set expectations, manage the standards across the board. I think communication is what drives a lot of things. If we could be better communicators, we could get a lot more stuff done. So that piece is really important. I think our clients are just over the moon for the communication piece.
Talking about communication, we're leading to almost my last question, because we're about ready to tie up here. Email marketing, is it dead?
Not dead, still alive. Email is still, it's alive, and it's still probably the best place to reach and connect with someone. Even beyond SMS, text a little bit. I feel like they're still hand in hand. They both serve different purposes. Yeah, you really can't drive a story home through a text message like you could through an email. And at SMS, I think people are more likely to swipe them away if they can't handle it immediately. Versus an email, they'll leave it unread, but they'll come back to it eventually. Or if they don't like it, they're going to X out on it. Email marketing, if not used as spam, it can be a really great touch point, another tool in your marketing chest, another communication piece to bring value to their buyer's journey and stay top of mind. That's a lot of the marketing that I do. People think email marketing, they think cold email or just getting bombarded with messages, and that's not what works. That's a great way to land in the spam inbox.
I complain a lot about Google and other places, but they did a lot of changes on the good side of that too. That you just can't be sending out cold emails all of a sudden, or you got to be very sparingly. You got to be very specific about who you what and so forth, and that's a good thing. And I agree with you. I just wanted to get your opinion before I thought of mine. But the email, I think it's well, it depends on what you're sending, for sure, and how you're sending it. And I find it easier to locate if you're looking for something than it is in the text. I mean, the search options are a whole lot more robust in email and if people have it, especially if you're doing some other stuff and they're looking for you, they can find you a whole lot easier than in an email. I mean, in an email other than just in the text. I mean, all they're going to get on the text is a phone number. And then unless you tell you who you are, and then they got to remember your name to find you. But anyway, there's a lot of advantages to email as well as text. And it depends on what you're reaching out for.
Absolutely.
Well, that being said, Chris, this has been a really good conversation. Any closing remarks before we go?
I think, yeah, absolutely. Well, first, thank you for having me on. Appreciate the platform and being a great person, great to talk to, funny guy. A lot of Chris's are, so I guess I wouldn't expect anything different. But all the business owners out there, feel free to connect and chat with each other, use each other as a support network. That's really important. I found putting my own Facebook group together, joining others, talking with like-minded individuals really helped to expand my network and my knowledge. So don't be scared out there. A lot of failures that are happening, a lot of roadblocks and obstacles that you're going to go through. You've been through worse before probably, and you're going to get through this one too. So keep up the grind, keep up the great work, take care of your customers and your employees, and you're going to have a successful business for life. Those are my closing remarks.
Awesome. You can find information about Chris Troca, not me, also in our website, hardhatceo.com. Also in the show notes, I'm going to put a link if you listened to something and had a question or had some problems, want to solve that you've heard today about any topics we've discussed, you can contact me at the links below in the show notes. Also, I've got a VIP event coming up in the February, and you can join up and go to that website, which is hardhatceo.com/VIP event. That'll be link will be in the bottom. Be happy to talk to you about that and that's all free as well. So thank you, Chris. You have a great day and stay warm up there. All right.
Hey, thanks so much. You as well. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.